Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I just got back from a dinner meeting where on my way to and on my way back, I had a chance to have a conversation with a peer of mine about coaching clients and how to handle a situation where you've got a lot of clients and you want to give them all a deep dive in the coaching. It just makes your coaching session, when it's a public coaching session, last for hours and hours and hours. We looked at how this particular coach enjoys coaching clients. And it's clear that a deep dive is something that feels right, that feels like not skimming the top of the water, that feels like giving the client their money's worth. And this particular coach can't imagine doing it any other way. And as I discussed this, we kind of talked about the idea that when you're giving people information, when you're giving people feedback, when you're giving people potential solutions, new ways of looking at things, if you go really deep and so wide and so involved and detailed, where you feel like you're giving a great value for your time, you can be shooting yourself in the foot, because you can cause fatigue, especially in a public coaching situation, because it's not just the person being coached, but it's also all the other people that are watching and listening and trying to learn from the coaching of the other people involved in the workshop. I mean, half the joy of me holding workshops in the VO2GoGo program is not just the person who's being coached, but all of the people who are witnessing the coaching and learning from what they do well, what they could do better, the feedback that I give them, and how that applies to everybody's individual pursuit of performance and voiceover. But if you overshare, if you really go crazy and give way too much stuff, you can cause fatigue. And when you cause fatigue, that impacts retention. It impacts how much people retain of what you're saying. So it can actually work against you. You know, and everybody's been to a smorgasbord or a buffet in Vegas or whatever. And, it's great when you've got all you can eat for a certain price. And, people tend to overeat in situations like that. I'll take as much crab and lobster as they have on the plate. Yes, sir. But what happens is that tends to fatigue your ability to enjoy the portions and the types of food, and it just changes everything about the equation of value for product. And it can also begin to undermine your ability to teach a client how to fish rather than fish for them. So, again, we've talked about coaching versus consulting, and I feel like I'm much more of a consultant than a coach, because I can't help myself. I can't be one of these people who says, "So, what do you think? What do you think is the reason there?" I mean, I do every so often ask, especially when I'm coaching people on different takes, "How did that feel? What did you notice differently about that? What did you notice that maybe you did better or worse about that particular take? And which would you rather have a casting director to hear?" Those are some of my favorite questions. But that involves sort of leading someone to the answer and giving them the ability to suss these things out themselves, no matter what it is that you're teaching them or coaching them how to do, as opposed to solely saying, "Here's what to do. Here's the solution. Here's the fish. I'm not going to show you how to fish. I'm going to show you the fish I got for you." So it can start to impact that as well, because if you've got so many details and so much deep diving, on our coaching staff, we've got people on VO2GoGo's coaching staff, some of whom do things on a lighter scale, and some of whom just love the deep dive. And the danger there is this whole fatigue thing and the impact of things. So as we discussed it, it became clear that, one of the things that this coach, and believe me, it's not just this coach, it's everybody. There's this issue of leveling. Betsy talks to me about it all the time. I get really excited about something and I talk about it incessantly and I give all the details and I want her to have all the background. And she's like, huh, honey, level it, make it easier for me to understand. So even though, it seems logical that the more you give somebody of your product or service, of your time, your effort, the better, it's not always the case. Give people what they need. Give people what helps them best. It's not giving them short shrift. It's not giving them too little, but it's also not giving them too much. And over time, you can, with experience and feedback from your clients and from your peers, figure out what is appropriate for you, right? So I wonder if this is something that you've dealt with. I wonder if there are people in your life that have said, not so much, not so many details. Or are you on the opposite end of the scale where people are like, what are you talking about? Give me more on that. I don't know what you're saying here. What's missing from this whole thing, right? Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching this anywhere but on votogogo.com, go to votogogo.com because we have all kinds of great tools for you. And we have a sane and reasonable and polite conversation going on with all these videos. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel and be notified when each one of these videos comes out, we're doing one a day for the year. That's my challenge. Go ahead, look for my face, click on it. If it's not there, look for a subscribe button somewhere below this video. If you want to see the latest episode I've done, click on that frame there and YouTube will play it for you. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.